it feels to be colored me. You see, I am colored, unlike some. I offer nothing in the way of extenuating circumstances except the fact that I am the only Negro in the United States whose grandfather on my mama's side was not an Indian chief. Oh, I remember the very day that I became colored. The front porch might seem a daring place for the rest of the world, but for Eatonville, Florida, it was a gallery seat for me. Oh, my favorite place was atop the gate post. I'd wave at the white people coming and going to Orlando. And when they returned my salute, I would say something like, "How your people? How your mama them?" "Well, I sure thank you." "Where y'all going?" Usually the automobile of a horse paused at this. And after a queer exchange of compliments, the white people like to hear me because, you see, I speak pieces. And I sang, and they wanted me to do the dance, the passe, the la flan, the double. And they give me tips, and they gave me dimes and nickels. The colored people, they ain't give me no dime or no tips. They deplored any joyful tendencies in me, but I was their Zora nonetheless. I belonged to them. Everybody's Zora. The changes came in the family when I was 13, and I was sent to school in Jacksonville. I left Eatonville a Zora. When I disembarked from the riverboat at Jacksonville, she was no more. It seemed that I had suffered a sea change. I was not Zora anymore. You see, I was now a colored girl. Oh, I found out in certain ways, in my heart as well as in the mirror. But I am not tragically colored. There is no great sorrow dammed up in my soul, nor lurking behind my eyes. Oh, I don't mind at all. No, I do not weep at the world. You see, because I'm too busy sharpening my oyster knife. Someone is always at my elbow, reminding me that I am the granddaughter of slaves. It just fails to register depression with me. Slavery is 60 years in the past. The operation was successful, and the patient is doing well, thank you very much. The terrible struggle that made me an American out of a potential slave said, "On the line." The Reconstruction period said, "Get set." And the generation before said, "Go." I am off to a flying start, and I must not halt in the stretch to look behind and weep. No way. Slavery is the price I paid for civilization, and the choice was not with me. No one on earth ever had a greater chance for glory. It is thrilling to think, to know that for any act of mine, I shall get twice as much praise or twice as much blame. It is quite exciting to hold the center of the national stage with the spectators not knowing whether to laugh or weep. But I don't always feel colored, even now. I feel most colored when I am thrown against a sharp white background. For instance, at Bernard College, I feel my race go. Among the 1,000 white students, I am a dark rock surge divine and overswept. But through it all, I remain myself. When I sit in the drafty basement that is the New World Cabaret with a white person, my color comes. We enter chatting about any little nothing that we have in common, great literature, and then we are seated by the jazz waiters in the abrupt way that jazz orchestras have. This one plunges into a number. Boom, 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 boom. It loses no time in circumlocutions, but gets right down to business. It constricts the thorax and splits the heart with the tempo and narcotic harmonies. This orchestra grows, rambunctious, rears on its hind legs, and attacks the tone veil with primitive fury, rending clawing it until it breaks through to the jungle beyond. I follow those heathens. I dance wildly inside myself. I yell within, "Yes, my song!" I whoop, I shake my asage above my head. I hurl it true to mark, "You!" I am in the jungle and living in the jungle way. My face is painted red and yellow, and my body is painted blue. My pulse is throbbing like a war drum. I want to slaughter something. Give pain, give death to what? I don't know. But the piece ends. The men of the orchestra wipe their lips and rest their fingers. I creep back slowly to the veneer we call civilization with the last tune and find the white friend from Bernard sitting motionless in his seat, smoking calmly. "Good music they have here, huh?" he remarks, drumming the table with his fingertips. Music? The great blobs of purple and red emotion have not touched him. He has only heard what I felt. He is far away, and I see him but dimly across the ocean and the continent that have fallen between us. He is so pale with his whiteness. Then, I am so colored. At certain times, I actually have no race. When I set my hat at a certain angle and saunter down 75th Avenue in Harlem, feeling as snotty as the lions in front of the 42nd Street Library, the cosmic Zora emerges. I belong to no race nor time. I am the eternal feminine with its string of beads. I have no separate feeling about being an American citizen and colored. I am merely a fragment of the great soul that surges within the boundaries. My country, be it right or wrong. Sometimes I do feel discriminated against, but it does not make me angry, you see. It merely astonishes me. How can anybody deny themselves the pleasure of my company? It's beyond me. Thank you.